Please be advised, the following material is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. This report contains the exact federal courtroom testimony from the Sean Diddy Combs trial as documented by Inner City Press. The tension in the courtroom could be felt in the air, thick, unrelenting, electric. The moment 50 Cent took the stand, everything changed. What was expected to be another procedural day turned into the unraveling of an empire, and at the center of it all sat Diddy, motionless, sweating, and utterly defeated. Just minutes before, he had been gasping for air, almost collapsing in front of the entire courtroom, as if the weight of the last 20 years had finally caught up with him. No one had anticipated 50 Cent's sudden appearance as a witness. He wasn't on any official list. His name hadn't been announced. Yet when he entered the courtroom, the silence was deafening. The reporters sat up straighter, the attorneys looked confused, and Diddy's hands, once steady and composed, began to tremble. The judge gave the nod. The prosecutor confirmed the authenticity of the evidence. 50 had in his possession a collection of recordings, hundreds of hours of audio spanning 2 decades. They had been verified by audio experts. They were legal, and they were damning. 50 began by telling the court he wasn't there to speculate. He wasn't there to stir drama or seek fame. He was there because he had seen things, lived them, and had proof. And what he was about to reveal, no one was ready for. He spoke of the first time he attended a party at Diddy's estate. It was supposed to be a networking opportunity. Instead, he said it felt more like stepping into a fortress. Guards were everywhere. Hidden cameras disguised as decorations were in every corner. And inside, behind all the glamour, something darker was lurking. He said the party felt staged, not like a celebration, but like a carefully controlled environment where power was on full display. As 50 moved deeper into the property, the crowd thinned. Only a few people had access to the most exclusive areas. Names were cross-checked. Watchers were everywhere. And then, Diddy approached him. What Diddy said, 50 never forgot. He told him he decides who stays and who goes in this business, and everyone around them nodded. It was a statement of power, not confidence. It was ownership. At that moment, 50 decided to protect himself. He began recording, not for publicity, not for revenge, but out of fear. He didn't know what might happen to him, but he knew he needed a safeguard. The first device he used was a tiny flip phone. Later, his tools became more sophisticated. He recorded conversations, threats, and moments that would later expose the hidden mechanics of a powerful man's empire. The courtroom listened in disbelief as he detailed parties where guests were asked to sign non-disclosure agreements, where phones were collected, and where young artists and models were given little choice but to comply. On one recording from 2003, a frightened female voice could be heard pleading to leave. Diddy's response was cold. He said she would go when he was done. The silence in the courtroom after that tape played was unbearable. One by one, more recordings followed. In 2007, Diddy could be heard yelling that he owned everyone in the room. He spoke of his power to make or break careers. Famous voices in the background confirmed they were major industry names. 50 provided context, explaining how anyone who challenged Diddy risked being blacklisted, silenced, or worse. In one chilling audio from 2012, Diddy discussed preparations for an upcoming private event. He demanded that phones be collected and that special guests sign strict agreements. When asked what if someone refused, he replied they don't get a choice if they want to stay employed. The courtroom watched as Diddy shrank further into his chair. Perhaps the most incriminating was a 2016 recording, just weeks before a notorious hotel incident. Diddy spoke of Cassie, calling her too independent, saying she needed to be reminded who was in charge. Another man asked how he planned to do that. Diddy responded with threats, implying she could never leave him because of what he knew about her. The jurors looked shaken. Cassie's legal team scribbled notes furiously. 50 testified that he had been at a private dinner the night that recording was made. Cassie wasn't there, but the topic was her. 50's watch had a recording device. He said he felt helpless, knowing terrible things might happen, but unsure how to stop them. When asked why he didn't warn Cassie, he admitted he tried through mutual contacts, but no one could reach her.
Diddy had her tightly controlled, and 50 feared what might happen if Diddy found out he was trying to help. He described the control, the manipulation, and the environment of fear that Diddy maintained over those around him. The court played more tapes, some from 2010, others as late as 2020. They revealed patterns of behavior. Talks of paying off victims, threats made behind closed doors, and calculated plans to protect Diddy's image at all costs. In one 2014 audio, Diddy spoke about power, saying fame and money fade, but real control means affecting everyone around you. 50 said that was Diddy's true goal, not success, but domination. Names of other celebrities came up, some manipulated, others silenced. 50 said it wasn't about one or two victims. It was about creating a system where no one dared speak up. People were terrified of the consequences. Careers ended. Opportunities vanished. All because they refused to play along. He recounted how Diddy used charm and generosity to gain trust. Expensive gifts, luxury vacations, promises of collaboration, and always a subtle reminder of what happened to those who crossed him. There were conversations about deleting evidence, bribing witnesses, and coordinating stories, all to maintain control. As this unfolded, Diddy began to break down. He untied his tie, whispered to his attorney, and finally collapsed. Medical teams rushed in. The judge cleared the courtroom. Chaos followed. But Diddy returned the next day, visibly weaker, pale, his confidence shattered. He tried to delay the trial, claiming medical issues. The court denied the request. The truth had to continue. 50 returned to the stand, picking up where he left off. He described a 2009 incident where he followed Diddy into a back room, expecting a business meeting. Instead, he found a disturbing scene. Young women, some visibly distressed, others barely aware. Diddy was orchestrating everything. 50 left feeling sick. Days later, he received a warning call. Someone said they knew what he saw. Then a package arrived, a USB with footage from that night. He saw himself in the background of scenes he didn't recall entering. And then he heard Diddy's voice. "Now I've got something on everyone here. This is how family works." It was a turning point. 50 realized he was part of something much bigger. He continued gathering evidence, not just to protect himself, but to give victims a chance. He wanted justice. He described how refusing Diddy's invitations led to consequences. His music stopped getting airplay. Former allies stopped calling. Rumors spread, calling him paranoid, jealous, difficult. Silence was the price for peace. He kept smiling in interviews, played along publicly, and built his own empire, away from Diddy's influence. But after seeing the footage of Cassie's hotel assault, he snapped. He couldn't stay quiet anymore. He contacted the FBI himself, offering 20 years' worth of evidence. He told the juries his silence made him complicit. He wasn't just an observer. He saw it, he recorded it, and he waited for the right moment. Now that moment had come. He then addressed Diddy directly. Standing, looking him in the eye, he said that what Diddy called mentorship and family was really a prison. He spoke of the artists Diddy ruined, the women he harmed, and the power he abused. He held up his old flip phone, his first recording device, as a reminder of where it all began. He turned to the juries and said this wasn't just about a party or a video. This was about a system that silenced victims and protected predators, and unless that system was dismantled, it would never stop. As he finished, Diddy sat frozen, expressionless. The prosecutor asked one final question. Based on what he had seen, did 50 Cent believe Diddy was a danger to others? Without hesitation, 50 said yes. As he stepped down from the witness stand, Diddy stood suddenly, then collapsed again. Panic erupted. Medics were called once more. The press caught the moment as he was stretchered out, unconscious. Outside, crowds had gathered. Many cheered for 50 Cent, calling him a hero. He ignored it all, silently walking to a waiting vehicle. When asked if he believed justice would be served, he said simply, "That was for the jury to decide." The trial shook the entertainment world. Old interviews resurfaced. Fans reviewed past performances with new eyes. Industry insiders scrambled. Record labels halted promotions, and even longtime allies began distancing themselves from Diddy. 50 Cent didn't gloat, he didn't smile, he didn't claim victory. He said only one thing. It's not relief, it's truth, and it's long overdue.